motion that we accept the minutes from our December meeting.
Second that.
All in favor? I did,
Second?
yes.
I'll say it so you can hear it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First thing on the agenda is a continued hearing.
No, it's not, they're here. Bill, Charlie said they're here. Long Bill? Yes. They're here.
Oh, yeah, there they are. Okay, let's hear from them.
Nancy was coming for this item.
What?
Nancy was coming for this item and she's not here.
Well, it's simple.
Hello.
Hello.
Before we open the meeting, I see that we are, again, missing 2 members here.
Yeah.
So we're concerned about those members missing 2 meetings and not being able to vote. So we were wondering if we could maybe, if we're waiting for the other members, maybe take us out of order. Are they expected to come tonight?
No, I don't believe so.
No, they're ill.
So
We have a quorum.
we do have a quorum, but then we would then need a supermajority. We need all 3 votes in the future. We wouldn't have the benefit of having a full board.
I have
so.
trouble hearing you when you go down.
Yep, I understand. So we wouldn't have the benefit of having the full board if the 2 members miss 2 meetings. So, if I could have a minute just to confer with my client here, just to.
Oh, sure,
ask
go
her-
ahead.
Can we take something out of order?
We can just continue right on with the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah, given that the other board members, this would be their second missed meeting, we'd ask for a continuance to the next meeting.
Okay, are you, at that next meeting, are you going to have an updated wetland map? And will all departments that you deal with have the same map to deal with, not different maps like we have now?
Right now, we only have 1 filing right now with the Conservation Commission. And that's the only filing that we have before the town.
Aren't you with the stormwater as well?
We're not. Yesterday, we met informally with the Stormwater Commission to discuss potential future plans, so they didn't feel left out. So we wanted to bring them up to speed, just like we told this board that once we've gotten an order of conditions here, the next step is we would go to the planning board with a revised design, and then based off of some input there, come back to this board. So that's what we're still planning on doing.
Now, I saw a map from yesterday, which is different from the map that you had originally given us.
That's correct, yep. So that is a preliminary design plan, and it's gonna be, it's a preliminary design. We haven't designed or fully filed that with anybody.
I would like to see, whatever you're going to do for the future, I'd like to see, whether it's preliminary or not, at least in large amounts, fairly accurate, so we can deal with it, so we don't have to come back to it year after year, because there's alterations. And it would probably be to your advantage to make sure that you have it done well, so that the other boards, commissions have the same thing, and we can move right through it in an accurate manner.
That's not what's before you now. We may never go to the planning board And with that plan, that's a conceptual plan, it's got nothing to do with what's before you now. We're here before you with the original subdivision plan, a delineation, a drainage design, and we're seeking to have the order of conditions issued based on that. Whatever happens in the future is gonna happen in the future, but it's got nothing to do with what's before you now. When the time is correct, we will bring that before you, if the time ever comes that we do.
Okay,
But that's not what we're presenting, that's not what we're asking for your action on. That's
Okay.
got nothing to do with what's going on here tonight,
Can I
nothing.
present Todd's letter for the record, now that we're already talking about it?
No, I'd
I'm
rather
supposed-
not.
No, I don't, if the
Excuse
commission.
me?
if
You
the-
cannot make that
So,
decision.
If the commission hasn't requested that that letter be issued, if you haven't directed anybody to issue that letter,
Excuse
that letter
me?
should not be
But
entered
we
into
don't
the
want
record.
to take any testimony. We just want to continue because we want the other boards.
All right.
This has to become part of the record because it was reviewed by the stormwater agent. The plan we have, which is the one you sent to me, not the plan you gave to the stormwater committee. The plan we have was reviewed by the stormwater agent, and he asked me to make it part of the record.
Excuse me,
He
we're
asked you
asking
to-
for,
Some way, shape, or form.
we're asking for a continuance. Nothing should be entered into the record
Well,
tonight.
then we'll do it next month.
okay. I motion then that we take under advisement the applicant's request to continue this hearing until our February 17th meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
You all have a copy of the letter.
Yes.
Joshua Glass?
No, that's continued. That is also continued.
Reed Brothers is continued.
Gotta read them off.
We have to, a motion on that?
Yeah.
I move that we continue the subdivision off of Forest Street called Forest Hills until our 2/17 meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Reed Brothers.
They,
Go-
re-
Keep going, Jim.
okay, I make a motion that we continue that hearing until 2/17. Reed Brothers.
For the record, I just want to make it known that they are waiting on Army Corps. They have
Okay.
reached out to Army Corps,
Yep.
and they're waiting on Army Corps.
Okay, so, second?
Second, yes.
Go ahead. Your turn. A motion made and seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Notice of intent request from Ross Bolsarelli, 170 Beach Street.
Not here? No. Okay, I move that we continue this hearing until our February 17th meeting.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Another continued hearing. Notice of intent, Simon's Construction.
Right. So what's happening there is we're waiting for the health agent to issue his comment, actually, the engineering firm to address the health agent's comments.
So we're
No
continuing.
one's here on them?
No,
Okay.
I told him he didn't have to come.
Okay, then we'll just, I move that we continue the hearing for Simon Construction and Materials until our 2/17 meeting.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, continued. Opposed? We go, motion passes. Request an RDA from properties at 3423 Shop Slot Road. Repair a failed septic system.
And I told them they didn't have to come as well because they're waiting on getting additional wetlands flagged.
Okay, so okay, I move that we continue the hearing until our 2/17 meeting.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye,
Aye. Motion passes.
boy.
Another continued hearing,
That's gonna be some meeting the 17th.
yeah. A notice of intent request from Michael Binder, Binder Estates. Where's Michael? Hey, get up here, we got somebody here on the agenda.
This is where I recuse myself. I'm recusing myself for this project, remember?
Brook Street,
This is the
okay.
project I'm recusing myself for, if you read through the emails,
Yeah,
okay?
Good evening, members of the commission. My name is Brian Dunn with MBL Land Development and Permitting. And as Lisa just described to you, we'd like the record to note she's recusing herself out of the room before we continue our presentation.
Lisa, they wish for you to leave the room.
That's fine.
Mr. Ch-
I have a little trouble hearing you, Michael Bender?
No, my name is Brian Dunn. I'm the principal of MBL Land Development and Permitting. Can you hear me so far?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
And your name is?
Brian Dunn.
Brian Dunn.
And with me to my left is Tracy Duart. She's the civil engineer of record. And Mike Binder is in the room. He's the applicant to the left behind me. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, this is a continued public hearing for a single-family house lot. The house itself, the septic system, most of the driveway, probably 90% of the driveway, is outside the 100-foot buffer zone, the bordering vegetated wetlands or isolated wetlands, whichever way you want to call it. We originally had a 4-lot subdivision on this parcel of land. We went to the Stormwater Committee, and they weren't too much in favor of promoting a 4-lot subdivision. So we're down to a 1-lot house on this 5 acres of land. We have approximately 374 square feet of floodplain, 374 square feet of floodplain that we are altering for the proposed driveway that is located on the plan and the land that you have in front of you. 374 square feet. Very de minimis area. We are also replicating that flood storage that we're altering to the tune of 533 square feet of replication of that floodplain. So really, any order of conditions associated with this project is really associated with the driveway. Has
Yes.
nothing to do with the house placement, the septic system, the grading around the house, all of it outside the 100-foot buffer zone. We understand that your agent has recused herself from reviewing this project, and it is my understanding through emails, through the chairman, that you wish to have this project go out to peer review. Is that still the case?
I had trouble hearing that.
It was my understanding that you would like this project to be peer reviewed.
Yes.
Okay. So if that's the case, and we're going to go along with that, I want to make sure that you can hear me clearly.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. We should have been notified day one that Lisa was going to recuse herself from this project. However, we were not. We were delayed 2 months. We were told at the last hearing that when we would come here tonight after Lisa spoke to town council in regards to her recusing herself, that we would come here and get an order of conditions tonight. Hold on for a second, I just want to continue what I'm saying. With those facts in mind, and we're a small buffer zone project of 374 square feet, nothing major. This isn't the Prudential Tower. It's a single-family house driveway that we're trying to permit. I request, if we go with the peer review, we will pay the $2,000 up front. We will expect the peer review letter within 1 week. We will make any revisions to the plans that prior week, and we expect that the order of conditions be drafted by that peer review consultant and ready for your signature on your next meeting in February. We do not want to be delayed anymore for a single-family home with 374 square feet of alteration. Mr. Chairman.
I don't think we can't guarantee 1 week time or anything with,
1 month, he's asking.
no, he said 1 week to
Oh, I
to
see
get
what
a
you mean.
letter
Yeah,
from the
okay.
peer review. It might take longer than that, but I want to go back to.
That was, that, if I may, that was what was explained to me in an email that would come. That was what would happen. We would hire the peer review, we would come with the funds tonight, they would be engaged, the funds would be deposited in the 53G account, and we would have a letter within 1 week.
Steve Schmiel said he would be able to handle it.
Okay, all right, okay.
But you have a check tonight?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As soon as the 53G is set, he'll start work.
Okay, well, as far as we're concerned, Mr. Binder's here, he's more than willing to work with you. We're willing to work with you as well. However, we do not wish to be delayed any further for this small alteration of floodplain. It's 374 square feet.
Okay, you got the idea that we were going to get an order of conditions tonight, and it probably came from me. You put pressure on Lisa to act as the agent and not be to recluse herself. And that's what delayed it, because since she went to town council and wherever else she went, and she got the idea that, no, she shouldn't be, regardless of what you were saying, and there's the month's delay. And I can understand, we're willing to work with you and get it done as quickly as possible.
I appreciate that, and I think that we were stating the facts at the last meeting about her recusing herself or not recusing herself. You, as the commission, asked her to go to town council. She
I
did not.
think you did.
No. The commission did. I didn't ask her to go to town council. You asked her to call and speak to town council in regards to her recusing herself.
Was it you?
She,
I didn't.
someone in this commission that was here.
I didn't, and
So
I'm sure
with-
it was you that said to go to town council and to get the approval. And,
I would have never gone and said go to town council.
well, I know I didn't, and,
Nope.
okay,
doesn't
all right, it doesn't matter at this point. I think we're on the right track, that we'll get, Charlie will make a call tomorrow, and we'll get things going as quickly as
Perfect.
possible.
And I think that going in the future, we do a lot of business in the town of Dayton. She has done a lot of work for MBL Land Development, and a lot of the clients that we have, that have been very good to the town of Dayton over the years. And I want to make sure that if we come back in and my plans come into this town, that we are not delayed like this again. It cannot be delayed. It can't be because of a business relationship that was over a year ago, that a person wants to develop a parcel of land, be delayed 2 months for something so small. Now, we won't have an order of conditions possibly until February 17th. Then there's an appeal period, so he can't really start anything until sometime in March now, instead of allowing the good weather that we have to construct a single-family home. So I came here with the inclination that originally that we were gonna get an order of conditions tonight. She was gonna go to town council. She didn't go to town council. She went to the ethics commission. Based on her conversation with the ethics commission, she made a decision that she was gonna have to recuse herself. Fine. We're going down another route. We expect that the commission follow through with that request. Please. Thank you very much.
I move that we ask the applicant to put funds into a 53G account and continue the hearing until 2/17.
I'll second that, but we already have a consultant on,
Okay, but we gotta accept
Yes.
their,
Right.
we gotta accept their
With
funding.
the understanding that any special conditions in the order of conditions be ready to be signed on the 17th. Please. Charlie?
yes,
Thank you.
there's no hindrance now. We have a consultant, he'll do his work, you'll get an order of conditions by the next meeting.
Perfect.
Okay,
February 17th?
Yes.
February 17th.
Very good. Thank you very much.
all right, wait, hang on a second, please. There's a woman with a question.
You gotta call for a vote on it.
I thought we
I made
did.
the motion, Charlie seconded.
Okay, all in favor of the
Aye.
issuing an order of
Excuse me,
conditions?
Mr. Chairman, Charlie, there's members of the public would like to speak, so we haven't closed the public hearing. We
No.
haven't officially continued it. You haven't voted to continue it. So if the public wants to speak, please let them speak now.
After a public official speaks, would you please put that back on the podium? My name is Nancy Goulart, I'm chairman of the Stormwater Committee. Yes, they did come before us. It wasn't that we didn't look favorably on it, they wanted waivers in order to construct the number of homes they wanted. This is the first thing I've heard about this since we had the Stormwater Committee meeting. My first question is, how many square feet of disturbance will there be in the building of this home?
None, no wetlands disturbance.
Not my question. Total number of square feet of property disturbed to do everything you want to do. Doesn't matter if it's dry,
It's
wet, or
under 5,000,
anything.
I can double check, but I did check for the stormwater permit requirements.
I need to know the number of square feet that will be disturbed. Relative to the comments about going to town council, any town employee, volunteer, or appointee who has a question is automatically referred to the State Ethics Commission. Because number one, they have the attorney of the day who's the expert, and number two, we don't pay for it. Town council does not give opinions on conflict of interest. So the meeting you're talking about, I saw it. I didn't see it come from the board, and I will leave it at that. The only other thing I need to know from a stormwater perspective is total number of square feet that will be disturbed on this property, because it will, in effect, determine whether or not you will have to come back to the Stormwater Committee. So if you can get that information to Mrs. Grassi at the Board of Health, that'll be helpful to us, because if it's 35,000 square feet or more, we will notify you to come to our meeting, which happens to be the night before their meeting, the day before their meeting. Thank you.
Morris Joyce, by the way, 399 Brook Street, I'm on the butter. What I'd like to point out to the board is that within 150 yards of this project is a priority habitat on the National Heritage plans. I have copies of the plans here if you need to see them.
No, we're good. We know I know the area, and I'm sure these guys, these people do also. Okay,
And
150
the
yards is a
question then
lot.
becomes, a priority habitat within that proximity, are there animals traveling back and forth?
Should we guess at that, or can you give us some information?
It would, be logical that there would be a number of vertebrates, invertebrates traveling back and forth between the wetlands on the project and the priority habitat. And they should have a corridor at least.
I don't, I'm looking for
Person you
help here.
contacted,
Stephen Schmiel.
okay, he can look that up and.
Yes, he will.
Okay, so, John, yeah,
I did, I jotted it down.
okay. Okay, we'll
Thank
have
you.
that looked into by the peer review.
Wonderful.
Mr. Chairman and members of the commission, just want to reiterate, this property is not located in a natural heritage zone, does not require a MISA certificate or an application.
That's what we're gonna have the peer review look into.
It's
and
in,
if
it's
so-
actually,
if so,
in our notice of intent. We have a figure that actually shows what the habitat is. We are not in that habitat.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishes to speak? Okay, I'll move that we continue the hearing until 2:17.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, 2:17.
Motion passes.
Because Lisa's not here, I have her copy of the check for the.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I wasn't gonna go outside, so,
Too cold.
yeah.
You have a check in here, let's,
You all
okay.
set, you guys,
No,
with the?
no, we will do the order of conditions. Okay. That's what I meant. Yes. Okay.
Okay, why, I can't hear anything you say.
No, the peer review will do the order of conditions. You go right up the order of conditions.
Who's the order?
Schmiel.
Who?
I'm stressed. What's next?
Okay. Stonegate.
Notice of intent,
Easy one. Oh, wait.
West Stonegate Landing.
Oh,
Stonegate Landing.
Stonegate Landing.
I can't see it.
Your name, sir?
Gentlemen, how are you? I'm Richard Fedoroff. I'm
Richard?
president of Stonegate Landing LLC. Richard, the last name's very easy to spell, so I won't bother spelling it for you.
Your last name?
Fedoroff,
Spell it.
F-E-O-D-O-R-O-F-F.
Got it right.
Okay,
Yeah, my name was Ivan Denisovich Fedoroff, but my mom changed it.
all right.
No, that's not true. Gentlemen, I'm Rich Fedoroff, Stonegate Landing right over here. I was here a couple months ago. We filed for notice of intent for construction of a single-family home on Lot 37, Stonegate Landing. And before I go any further, I need to give Lisa some documents, if it's
Please
okay.
do.
This is we did get it.
Yep, I just looked it up.
Yeah?
You want to just read it out loud for the record what the file number is?
What's that?
You want to read it out loud for the record so everybody knows what the file number is?
Okay. Yes, the letter says Commonwealth, Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection. Notification is dated January 4th, 2022. Notification of the Wetlands Protection Act file. The Department of Environmental Protection has received notice of intent to file in accordance with Wetland Protection Acts. Stonegate Landing LLC, address of the property is Stonegate Landing, Lot 37, here in Dayton, Mass. They've issued the number SE 0170452.
Do you have copies copies of plans for the guys to look at? You gave them
I
to
brought
them?
it to that.
Okay.
What was the last three numbers on the,
No, copies of the plans, I'll take that. It's
17 dash what?
0452.
Okay.
Can I continue?
Do you have
Do you have
copies of
plans?
the plans? Or do you want me to give them mine? I can give them mine.
Okay,
You just have the
I
one?
have another one.
okay.
Okay, wait, Landon.
Go down Center Street, and it's on the right-hand side with the two stone walls further down. And this is the one where there was, okay, where's the locus on this?
That's what I was looking for when I
Yeah.
asked you where the hell it
Yeah,
was.
this is gonna be the drive going in. Could you give us some orientation on this? I've been there so many times, but I don't know, okay, all right, here, Bill.
The power line. So Center Street's down here,
Yeah.
right?
So that, well, that's the first house lot on the right.
No, it's up here.
Oh, okay, it's the detention basin. Okay, I know what this one is.
Yeah.
This is where it drops off, it's high and then it drops off very
It's on the
quickly.
west side of the
Okay.
Stonegate Landing roadway, and it's just north of that access that goes into the power lines.
Okay,
So it's the intersection of that unbuilt road.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, okay, so you're going in, it's up there on the left. And there's a playground near there too.
The playground's quite a ways away,
Okay, but it's, all right.
but this lot, as you know, Stonegate Landing is approved.
Yeah, okay, no, I'm very familiar with it. I've been up there so many times, but I just had to know which lot.
Can we just reiterate for the record, it's a 40B, so you've received exemptions as far as zoning, so you don't have to meet the Wetlands Protection Act. However,
No, you have to meet the wetland protection, but not the bylaw.
right, sorry, good correction. So in speaking with Mr. Fedorov, we've determined that, you know, he may not have come on other lots, but he's gonna come on the rest of the lots that he needs to.
Okay, so your request then is,
The question is, on the permit for the comprehensive, we overrode the zoning act, okay? But it also asked us in the permit to try the best we could to leave at least a 25-foot no-cut zone, okay? One of the lots we talked about a few weeks ago, we couldn't quite do that, but this one, you can see we're leaving a clear 25-foot buffer zone. The limit of the clearance would be the red brick line, and that is 25 feet from the flag wetland areas.
okay, yeah. Okay, so you're not gonna, all right, so,
The lot's a little tight on the right side behind the house, but you can see it widens to the left, and so we can stay out of that 25-foot zone.
and yet your
still-
building is still gonna be 50 feet away from the wetlands, at least 50 feet.
The building itself, yeah, because we got 25 feet, we're 55 feet away from
Yeah.
them. And we have a no-cut zone. Lisa and I walked it the other day, and we're gonna wrap the silt fence right around it. It's flagged with blue and white flags, and we should be able to do everything and deliver a good, decent backyard and be able to maintain that distance without any trouble on this lot.
Okay,
Yeah, I had them flag the limit, the 25-foot.
Okay.
And stake out the house.
now, on your other lots, we had you put permanent markers in the ground?
Yeah, one lot in particular, we have put big boulders behind the house, so they have to get a machine in there to get them out of there, so they won't crouch, but that was close. This one here, we can, everything's going away, and, the secret here is proper grading and sending everything towards the paper street that's there, Fairway Landing. I'm not sure we need permanent markers on this, but that would be your call,
We like to make sure the people that live there are gonna know where the boundary lines are for ever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
a good permanent marker, concrete or stone
I could,
in the ground is a good idea.
on the other one, we're so close, we're putting big rocks so no one touch them, but I could do a, Stonegate's probably a name, I have plenty of big rocks over there, okay, and maybe, I would want to build a tall wall because some people, but I could put markers back there and reference that, with the buyer and tell them they
Yeah.
don't go any further without
What
following
about a
Concom.
short fence of some sort? Would you be amenable to that?
Please, I'm sorry, I can't.
How about a short fence of some sort?
Short fence?
Yeah,
Short fences are easy to jump over.
I'm not worried about it.
Permanent markers of stone of some kind.
Okay.
Would do it. That's just mentally a barrier.
Yeah.
And also, of course, in the deed, we'll reference this plan, and I'll make sure the customer gets it, and it goes to my P&S, and I'll do the best I can to keep them out of there.
Okay. So whatever you put in there, whatever you use for markers ought to be high enough so you can't run over it with a lawnmower.
Well, that's very doable, sir.
Okay.
At
I don't
least
have
6
any, I don't have, I'm all set.
I'm all set too.
Audience asking me.
Well, I will when I'm looking to see if Charlie's all set.
He said yes.
He did? Okay. Anybody else want to speak on this particular project?
I think
Okay.
that fellow wanted to speak in favor, sir, he's just a little bashful. But just let him know he's good with me, okay?
Okay. I move that we close the hearing and issue an order of conditions for Stonegate Landing.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Request for a determinant of applicability from Michael Rodriguez. Michael,
Am I done?
where are you?
I'm Ray Francisco.
Okay, thank you.
Michael, you gotta scream out. You're not Michael.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm Ray Francisco, I'm the
Fred?
engineer.
Greg?
Yes, Ray,
This is for the ad.
Ray Francisco.
Yep.
Yeah, there goes to Lisa.
Hey, Lisa,
What?
why don't, a permanent marker, when we get that far, why don't you and I come out with it?
Yeah, we'll look at it together.
Okay, all right.
I'll email that tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Let's see, I'll take that. No, we're all right. We're good.
You're up.
This is septic, right?
Okay, yeah, this is a single-family home, new construction. Lot 2A on Smith Street.
Okay.
There's a bordering vegetated wetland on another property to the north, and there's a flagged wetland to the west as well.
Slow down just a little bit.
Sure thing.
I'm trying to find out where we are on Smith.
Remember where I used to live?
Yeah?
Goggins property across the street? Goggins property across the street with the cemetery?
Yeah.
But if you keep heading north, it's part of Goggins land. Before where'd Stephen Gilbert left,
so
I
lived?
know where we are now.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
excellent.
west side of the street. So Horton Street is over here. Okay,
This is Smith Hortons down there.
yep,
It's just a 100-foot
Okay.
buffer zone. You just squeeze that septic system in.
Yes, so the house, the septic, and the driveway are all outside of the 100-foot buffer zone.
easements.
We're filing an RDA,
Oh,
because there is some
okay.
grading associated with the
far
septic
back is
system that will cross over the 100-foot wetland,
Existing.
100-foot buffer zone.
He's explaining things to us.
Okay,
So the house, the septic system, the driveway will all be outside the 100-foot buffer zone. There is some grading work associated with the septic system that will be within the 100-foot buffer zone of the off-site vegetated wetland, but it will not be within the 50-foot setback of that wetland.
So I had Ray do a few things, including label the wetlands as what they are. The isolated vegetated wetland, and then the BVW, which is contiguous with a culvert that goes under Smith Street. So then I had him add the 25-foot no touch and the 50-foot no build to the isolated wetland as well. And I also just noted that the flags in the rear of the site, which is flags 28 through 36, there were no flags hung there. So, you know, the project is
Yeah, the
not
project.
allowed to actually go do any more. Like, there's a restriction on this lot, right?
I'm not
According
sure.
to the planning board?
Okay,
I believe
have to
so,
check and see.
because it says not to be further subdivided,
Oh, okay.
okay.
because it's a retreat
It's
lot.
right, as a retreat lot, yeah. I
But,
thought you meant something had to do with the wetlands.
Okay,
and then I had a conversation with Mr. Pilling, the health agent, because, you know, I want to make sure he's reviewing these before we approve them, to make sure the septic systems are all set, so we don't have to keep going back and forth. He hasn't had a chance to review this yet, but Mr. Francisco is here with the understanding that if anything moves closer to the wetland, he'd have to come back before us. But, the only thing I.
All the perk tests are further away from the wetland. Actually, Todd did review this. I have an email from January 10th from
Good.
Brad, the design engineer. He did talk to Todd about this.
Okay.
I don't know, everything's so busy, maybe Todd didn't realize which lot it was, so we're
Yeah.
pretty confident that once he takes a look at it.
Yeah.
he'll remember that conversation.
Okay, good.
And hopefully I have no further comments, and if he does, we'll address them.
Yeah. So there was one item, though, there isn't, I didn't see was addressed, was the 50-foot setback. I wanted something like to demarcate that, and I realized only a small portion of that, well, you know, 50-foot no build back here along the IBW, and then the 50-foot
Looks like
from the BBW.
we raised.
yeah.
Right,
well,
those are
that's
pretty
why
far
it's coming
away.
before us.
Right.
There's not really much work proposed anywhere near that in the back.
Yeah.
We're over 100 feet from it.
But you know what happens when they get in and then they want to
We
clear
could put a marker.
their yard.
We could put a marker, like,
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay.
I mean,
That's outside the 100.
or, you know, some sort of demarcation. So if you want, we can discuss it and then I'll put it in the conditions.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think they'll be okay with the marker.
okay. I mean, we don't have like our own markers like some towns do.
All four of your test pits were passed?
Yeah, yes, there were two, well, they perked two of them, and the two were observations, and there were 2 minutes per inch on the two.
Okay. I don't have anything. I mean, he's pretty good. He's just
He's
gonna
all right.
work the mounding here in the buffer zone.
He's okay.
Audience,
I will. I'm waiting.
he's on.
I'm all set.
On this particular project? Anybody here? No? Okay.
I move that we issue a negative determination for this project and is to be constructed as designed.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. And did you have proof of payment of that bill? Did you give it to him already? You did, right? Okay, good.
I have a copy with me.
Okay. No, that's fine. If you emailed it, that's good. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, here's something that I always say. Are they draining wetlands by doing that?
No, they're improving drainage ditches, it's
Okay,
mosquito control.
okay.
You guys talking about?
Mosquito control. Lisa, I'm gonna put this,
Okay.
unless you want this.
No, you can have it. So this is the next item. I ended up with 2 copies. All right, if you want to take it out, because I ended up with an extra copy. Does anyone want to see some information on mosquito control in the town? So as everybody knows, we have West Nile and Dayton, so it has been found. But the Bristol County Mosquito Control Project is working to help eliminate the mosquitoes in town. So there's 2 projects.
The plans are attached to your packet,
Yeah,
mosquito control.
yeah, I saw that.
Okay.
That's why I gave them to you, because it's 2 separate projects. Where's the other one I
They
gave?
both have it.
Yeah. It's
All
okay.
we gotta do is flip pages and they'll find it.
Yeah, but I only have 1. Well, anyways.
All right, you keep that one.
I mean, okay.
I've walked along with them when they did the work down on County Street. I know
Yeah,
how
so-
they do it and what they do.
But for the record, I would like to read their letter.
Okay.
So everybody understands what's happening. Let me just get there. All right, so Diana Brennan, from Bristol County Mosquito Control Project emailed me, and this letter was dated on January 4th. The Bristol County Mosquito Control Project is proposing a ditch maintenance project on a property within your town. Before we move ahead on this project, we seek input and advice regarding the project and any concerns you have regarding it. We do not wish to proceed with any project if there are legitimate concerns from you regarding the work. Our goal is to restore the ditch to the original ditch dimensions in order to provide adequate water flow. This will help to alleviate some mosquito breeding in the area and help the water to flow more freely. We are interested in being as environmentally sensitive as possible in the areas in which we work. Some trees and shrubs may need to be removed in order to allow access for the low ground pressure machine. Spoil from the ditch will be spread evenly in the upland or removed from the site. Our experience shows that within 1 growing season, the work area returns to a vegetated state that is attractive. The Bristol County Mosquito Control Project will be conducting a water management project in the city/town of Dayton in compliance with Mass General Laws 252. The location of this work is at 2682 Elm Street. We plan to remove vegetation and debris which are blocking an existing drainage ditch. Spoils will be spread evenly in the upland. Our target commencement date is 2/4/2022. The project is listed in our files as Project DI 22-015. If you have any questions or concerns regarding this work, please feel free to contact me at the above number. If I do not hear from you within 30 days, we will proceed with the project as planned. Sincerely, Diana Brennan, Wetland Coordinator. So yeah, this first one's on Mr. Carr's property on Elm Street. And then the second one is off of Pleasant. Let me pull it up, I'll pull up.
2696 Pleasant Street.
Yeah, okay. So that, you know, and both of these projects are exempt from us having to make any determination.
Well, you know, it's good that they inform us, because if we get calls, first of all, the call will come into you, and then you can just say that's an exempt project and with our approval, with
Yeah.
our knowledge.
Yeah.
Unlike some of the work in the past that's been done on the river, and we have no clue, and we have to go down and make
Yeah,
an inspection.
yeah, right? I don't know if you wanna ask if anybody has any questions, or,
I will once we
I'm also, that's mosquito control.
Sally too.
All set.
Anybody like to speak about the project that mosquito control has? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
No, well, is there a motion? No. There's not, they're not asking us anything.
There's no motion.
They're telling us.
Yeah. Informing us. All right. There's a request to issue a certificate of compliance at 1605 Wheeler Street. Anybody here with that? 1605 Wheeler?
No, they didn't need to come. I did a site inspection last week with the owner, and I'm satisfied, with the work. It's all stabilized. The coir logs are in place. They might just leave them there to decompose. They're just straw wattles, actually.
They what?
Straw wattles.
Okay.
But the site's stabilized. This was just a septic repair. And I have a certificate of compliance. If you guys
Okay.
want to sign it tonight.
Well, let me make the motion first.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see if it passes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I move that we issue a certificate of compliance to the residents of 1605 Wheeler Street.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, we'll do that.
Okay.
Brandon, you're next.
We haven't seen Brandon in quite a while.
Aren't you lucky?
It's good to see you, Brandon.
Good to see you too. Brandon Fanner, FECO System Solutions, Warwick, Rhode Island. Representing the Francos. Representing the Francos,
Where are the Francos? There they are.
right there. So-
Okay, Brandon?
Okay, so we have an enforcement order to deal with,
All right.
and we're dealing with it. Any questions? Here's the update.
Yeah, pretty.
We did the wetland delineation, and there is an isolated wetland behind that house in the patio that they created.
He didn't,
Yeah,
You've got a print.
sorry, Brandon.
That's all right.
Gotta be careful about what you sign.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, isolated wetland.
Isolated wetland,
You got any pictures or a map or anything? Have we do any?
not yet, but we're working on that. So we have it delineated. We want to do an aerial survey with a drone, because the aerial photos that are available online go back to 2019, which obviously aren't going to line up with what we see today. So we're gonna fly a drone over the property to get a up-to-the-minute, recent aerial survey that we can make maps out of, so you can see what's going on. And from there, we're gonna come up with some form of restoration plan. And that's what I'd like to start a conversation with the commission about. Because there has been some weeping and gnashing of teeth.
This has some what?
Weeping and gnashing of
Oh,
teeth
yeah.
as of late regarding how the Francos were issued a building permit. So they moved forward in good faith that they could do this work, but then were stopped afterwards. So that is what it is. And we're gonna deal with it. But the question is now that this patio is in, and they got the building permit for it, and most likely, this patio incurred into the 25-foot no-touch zone, what can we do about it anyway while still keeping it?
Is it a patio or is it gonna be something else?
So you can't, Lisa,
Is it a patio or something else? Like, what is the end result? Is it because we never saw the building permit originally, so,
Okay,
we
well,
never saw the plan.
I don't have that answer right now. If the Francos want to answer, but I've consulted them to just observe and report it for tonight. Okay? So I can continue to communicate with Lisa about that.
My dad's replacing 4
We can't, if you want to speak to us, please come up here so we can hear.
Sure.
You are,
My name is Mandy Sue Blow. I am Frank and Cecile's daughter.
and this
my-
is Mr. Franco.
This is my dad. Yep, Mr. Franco.
Okay.
So my parents were advised that it was okay to tear down the 4 sheds on their property and replace it with 1. They did that, and that's what they're doing. It's a prefabbed garage. So the slab was poured in good faith that we were going down the right road, and that is not what happened. So what happened?
I poured the slab, then I got the registered letter from you people.
Well, that's how we
I
found
was
out about
told
it.
by the building inspector to pour the slab, commissioner, and then come see him, and he give me the building the permit. I did everything just the way he told me to do it. And I put it exactly where it is. And it's 30 by 35 is the size.
Okay, I think Brandon will be coming with a solution for you.
Correct.
Well, I'm not happy. This was a punch below the belt, you know what I mean?
Well, that, unfortunately, that is two departments that
That's
weren't
not my
in
problem.
communication with each other.
That's definitely a town issue, yes.
Yeah, they gotta straighten it out.
Yep.
Do our best,
And I'm sure
Mr.
this is
Franco.
going to lead in that direction.
I hope so, because I don't want to see anybody else have to go
Well,
through
I
it.
don't either. I mean, this is,
Other people already going through it. You got these people over here, you got the kids before us. The town doesn't have their shit together, we know that.
okay, Brandon.
But
So,
this is probably the first time we've used a drone to,
yeah, this has been something I've been doing as of late.
Really?
Yeah, usually when, in situations like this, where I have to show some kind of existing condition that would not necessarily show up on an aerial photograph that the state ran, 3 years ago. And it helps everybody to visualize what is there and what could be done, as opposed to looking at an,
Interesting.
yeah, I think you like it.
Okay.
But I think there's gonna hopefully be some compromise here, given the situation you just heard about, and that we can move forward with something to make all parties happy. I know that there was a lot of junk on site that's been cleaned up already, and we would continue to clean things up and perhaps plant and overall make it a better situation than it was before.
And you're gonna do that, and that sounds fine.
We're making lemonade out of lemons. That's what I want to do.
Sounds good.
Good.
Okay. So when will we see your plan?
You'll be seeing it for the next meeting. And
Okay.
I'll be getting to Lisa, knock on wood, in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, so, if this, okay, it's, I don't know if there's anything here to continue or anything, it's just,
Well, you have to, yeah, we have to
Yeah,
get it
it's
continuous.
an enforcement order at this point, so we'll just,
so we will
Meeting
look,
them.
look for your input on the next meeting.
yes, sir.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So can I clean up? Can I do any clean up here, or I still can't do that?
Jesus Christ, he's a pain.
Brandon's gonna work pretty quickly to get it done for you.
Can be.
He said by the next meeting, which is really quickly compared to some of the guys we're working with.
I'll tell you something later.
Yeah, you don't have to.
At this point, there's not gonna be an engineered site plan. There's gonna be this new aerial photograph, me using ArcGIS
Okay,
and creating a map from that. It's not gonna be stamped, but being a kind of a restoration type deal at the moment, maybe it'll be acceptable to you, maybe after you see it, you say, well, I'd feel better with a stamped plan, but that's the direction we're going. We'll see what your level of comfort is.
It is a garage in a floodplain.
And what?
It's a garage in a floodplain. However,
Okay.
a boathouse in a flood.
shell, it's just a shell like a concert hut.
Yeah.
And it's got the boats in it, no utilities, nothing in there. It's on a cement slab, that's it.
Okay, but the one thing I do want to consider is the number of structures that were removed in the flood zone versus what's there. So,
Those were my father's.
right, so,
Well, we can take some of that into consideration, but
We will.
that's good. All right, wonderful.
thank you.
Thank you.
Drive safe.
Lisa, you talked to him before, right? On it, we can't do that now.
What?
This is an order of conditions we issued in 2010 for your, I guess it was your dad. Or was it-
Was it your-
No, he died, 2007.
Was it your brother?
This was my brother. Take it home and read it. He had cancer, he was I sick understand. for, but take it home and read it, read the conditions that are in the back, and you'll see why we acted. There's a perpetual condition that was issued in that order that required, your dad, or grandfather for you, to file
No,
with the
his
commission
uncle.
before he did anything else.
Yeah.
And that's why we acted the way we did. It didn't work out very well.
Well, he had it rented
Yeah.
out to
So-
Allen Record, was renting.
He put in the septic system at that time,
Not in 2010.
2010.
I put one in, Proline put one in for me.
Yeah.
Tabor Construction put it in. I
Proline.
put one for two places, the trailer and and where I
That's
am.
the order of condition that was issued, that worked.
Yeah, you can go over that and understand what's required.
What we did, why we did it, and I think everybody agrees with it.
We do want to be clear, this is nothing against the commission, it's nothing against Lisa, but here's the
But
angst.
this,
Wait a minute.
I wouldn't have done this if.
Right,
if I knew
my
what
dad
to do.
wouldn't have done it
I was told
if-
everything was all right. I showed all my plans and everything. That's
this order
where
of
I'm.
conditions that we issued for that septic system had a perpetual condition that required any homeowner, present or past or future, apply with the commission before any work is done.
And I'm gonna pause you right there. So if my dad went to the town and said, hey, I'm building this, I need a permit, what was the first thing they should have done? Go to the commission. They didn't do that. This is why we are in this mess. This is his anger. Because guess what? If we can't come up with the money to cover what Brandon has for us to mitigate, my parents are out $55,000. That's why we're pissed.
Brandon will take care of it.
I get it, but is it 2,000, 1,500,
I
15,000?
cannot answer that.
Come on, we'll go.
I don't understand what does this.
I
have to
will,
do
I
with
will,
it.
I will.
It's just a regular order of condition.
But he died, my brother died at 13.
But it's history that says whoever takes over the property must follow certain instructions. You took over the property, evidently you never got a copy, because he died, you didn't get a copy of that, but that should have been in the deed, telling you what to do and what not to
The deed
do.
was never changed. I guess it was,
Well, Frederick's handled, he's the lawyer on it. He did the deed. Matter of fact, yeah, he's changed, I don't know if they changed it all over yet, but he handled all the
it's
paperwork.
a sad thing that it happened, but
Well, I thought it was kind of a low blow, you know? You know,
But you read that and it'll make sense for us. You will make,
And you
it'll
too.
make sense in what we did.
okay, no, thank you.
Take care, thank you for hiring
Lisa called
someone.
me today, didn't she? Okay, she'll call you back. We're not can't deal with it now.
Bye, Brandon.
drive safely.
Okay.
Clearing the place out.
Brandon,
Wow.
Yeah. What?
handicap exit. Handicap exit.
Yeah, there's a handicap
We
exit.
have,
Oh, no, this is closer. She can do a couple stairs.
All right, just be careful. There was some water there before. I don't know if there's
still
salt.
there. Be better off if she went out here.
They said no, the daughter said no.
Yeah, just watch her back when she hits that slab that's wet. It should be frozen by now. Oof.
Okay, Horton Street?
Yeah, 2050 Horton Street. Lisa.
We received a letter from the abutter, which you all have copies of.
We do.
Okay. In response to that letter, we wrote a letter ourselves. To the Brimmers. So my letter was dated December 29th, 2021, to Ann Elizabeth and Robert Brimmer at 2050 Horton Street regarding possible wetlands violation. Mr. and Mrs. Brimmer, we are writing to inform you of a complaint and possible wetland violation on your property at 2050 Horton Street, map 7, lot 26-2, under the Wetlands Protection Act and Dayton Commission Wetlands Protection Bylaw. I've included a copy of the complaint for your review. The Conservation Commission requests the authority to walk on your property to investigate. I ask that you respond to me with an answer to the above request to walk your property to investigate said complaint by January 14th, 2022, and that did happen. And then I said we will discuss the complaint and any of our findings at the January 20th, 2022 Conservation Commission meeting to be held in the upper level of the Old Town Hall, 7 p.m. Please plan to attend this meeting. You can email a response to me. Sincerely, Dayton Conservation Commission, Lisa Caledonia, Conservation Agent, and I CC'd the Board of Selectmen and the Building Commissioner. And I also gave the Brimmers a copy of the formal complaint, which I should read for the record. December 13th, 2021, addressed to William Frenette, from Wilton Ribeiro, property owner of parcel 7, lot 26, address 1127 South Main Street, Fall River, Mass. 02724. Formal complaint of unauthorized stream alteration on parcel 7, 26-2. Dear Mr. Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Conservation Commission members, I am the current owner of the vacant lot off Horton Street, identified as map 7, lot 26, in the town of Dayton, Mass. I recently had the opportunity to walk the boundaries of my property and took notice of a man-made alteration to the stream on the abutting property to the east of my property. The stream in question also flows on my lot. Correction, it flows from his lot. In fact, it crosses my entire property from a point in the western boundary of my lot approximately 1,000 feet north of Horton Street and meanders in a southeasterly direction to flow to cross my eastern boundary at the point approximately 100 feet north of Horton Street into the abutting lot as previously mentioned. My visual observations while on the ground of the man-made structure in the stream appeared to be within the stream and possibly impeding the flow of the stream so some extent. In an effort to confine my observations, I engaged an engineering consultant to obtain further visual images of the stream alterations using a drone flown entirely over my property. The images obtained revealed at least 2 man-made structures located within the stream, and I have further confined that these structures are visible on publicly available aerial imagery and date back to no earlier than September 2021. As this discovery was of concern to me for the potential impacts to my property, I made inquiries with the Dayton Conservation Commission office and was told that there is no notice of intent on file for the stream alterations work performed on the adjacent lot, which is not what I said. I gave him a copy of the entire folder, and yes, there was a notice of intent and an order of conditions, but possibly not for this portion of the alterations that were made. Okay. Therefore, I have I have reason to believe that the man-made structures were constructed in the stream in violation of the Mass Wetlands Protection Act. I also have reason to believe that the structures located within the stream were intended and have in fact impeded the normal flow of the stream and have resulted in a measurable impoundment of the stream waters to create a small pond. I was advised by my consultant that this man-made impediment has also likely caused a backwater that has affected the normal hydrology of my lot since the alterations of the stream are in close proximity to my property. It was explained to me that such an impoundment, having acted as a dam in the stream, will tend to create higher stream levels, greater potential for flooding, and higher groundwater elevation than would normally occur naturally if the stream flow were not impeded. Since there appears to be no notice of intent for the stream alterations and an apparent violation of the Wetlands Protection Act, I'm requesting that the Dayton Conservation Commission initiate an investigation into these unauthorized stream alterations. I trust that the Conservation Commission will respond to my request within 7 days, and I look forward to further information to be provided by the Conservation Commission regarding this matter. I thank the Commission in advance for reviewing the situation and acting immediately upon this matter, and I await your response. Thank you. Sincerely, Wilton Ribeiro. Just for the record, Wilton Ribeiro is also the gentleman who bought Mr. Pavo's lot, who we issued the enforcement order to. Okay. So here tonight we have Mr. Brimmer. Jim Digits and I did walk the property yesterday, and why don't we hear from Mr. Brimmer first?
Your turn.
I never did this before, so be patient.
I did make the stream wider. I made the stream about 3 feet wider. The water actually flows from Lopes, which is is on the other side of this gentleman's lot. It comes down through his lot, and then it comes down through my lot, and then it goes across Horton Street and then down through Adam's lot. So he's saying that the water goes uphill. The water can't go uphill. So what I did was I taped, and Jim and Lisa came out and looked at the streams that are coming off of Gilly Lopes' lot, coming off of the lot uphill from me, and all the streams are flowing into this gentleman's lot. Now, with that said, 14 years ago, when I went to build in this lot, I wanted to buy both lots. Shore Environmental is a big company, and the guy who runs it is a good friend of mine. So I asked him if he can come down and do a survey of it. Just as a friend, come take a look. So he looked at both lots. He said you would have an 80%, 70% chance to build on this lot that I built on. He said you'll have a 0% chance to build on the other lot because of all the streams going there. So we walked all the property because I wanted to buy it for my son. I actually talked to Charlie a few times, and there's just no way to build anything on the lot that he wants. So what happened was, the water doesn't go up. So if anything, I'm actually draining his lot at a faster pace than what it should be. So if you want me to put the fill back in, his lot will drain actually slower, and the wetland will expand on his lot because it's all coming into my lot. What's happening right now is my lot is actually getting more flooded because a culvert that goes across Horton Street is smaller than what it originally was. So when the town put the culvert across, the drain across Horton Street. They actually put a smaller drain, so the back of my lot is getting more filled because of that. But I don't have any issue with that, because I don't want to build anything back there. I don't want to have any, and that used to be all upland, but it's now not upland because the water doesn't cross over to Stevie Adams' property.
You say the town put a smaller culvert in than what was originally there?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, about 5 years ago. But I'm not complaining.
Okay,
I own all that land where the culvert is.
yeah?
I own all the land all the way to the gas line in the back. The land, I have photos, the land used to be dry, and now it's all flooded, and I'm fine with that because I don't want to build anything over there. But with that said, when I heard the excavator in the lot on the side of me, I went over and talked to the gentleman, and I said, "What are you doing?" And he showed me a building permit, and he said, on his phone, he said, "I'm building a house." I said, "How are you building a house? You never went to the Wetland Commission, because there's no sign out here. There should be a sign with numbers." I mean, I don't know a lot about wetland or anything, but I know that there should be a sign with numbers. And he said, "Mind your own business." And I said, "You can't just come in here with an excavator and start ripping stuff down." And he was pretty aggressive, which I don't really care. But he was pretty aggressive, and he said, "If you give me any problem, I'm gonna tell him that you made a pond in the back." I said, "First of all," I said, "I opened the stream up 3 feet." I said, "So I made more wetland than what there was. But I'm happy to fill it 3 feet back in." I said, "Second of all, you can't just rip through." His intent was, and I found a building plat paper from him, and I talked to the wetland lady who marked that lot. His intent was to rip the road through before anybody's seen it, get rid of as much wetland as he can, come to your board and say, "This land is all dry, and whatever water is here is because of whatever," and then put a whole plat in there. So he's mad, and he told me he was mad, and again, he was aggressive, and he said, "You know, this is what I'm gonna do." And I said, "Well, you're not gonna do it, because I'm gonna make some phone calls, and I'm gonna stop you." Because he had the big excavators just ripping down stuff, put loads of dirt were coming in on a Sunday. He was just doing whatever he was doing. So prior to 2 weeks before, or 3 weeks before, the wetland lady went in, and she's marking where I expanded the stream. She's marking the stream at 4 feet wide. And you can see, and as Jim and Lisa saw, the stream some places 30, 40 feet wide, depending on where it is. Some place it is narrow, but they just went right down the line at 4 feet. And the flags on both sides. So, because he needed the additional land in order to put the plat, if you saw his paper, you would see, he needed the additional land in order to put the cul-de-sac and the plat and everything. So he purposely flagged it this way. And I told this girl, I said, "You're flagging in the wetland." She said, "I was told by this gentleman,
Read it.
Wilton Ribeiro," sorry, I can't see, "that this is the paper that I had to flag according to. So I'm flagging according to that. And that's who he's paying me. So he's paying me, so I'm going to do what he says. None of your business." Okay. I said, "But you're doing something that's illegal, and your license is going to be on the line." I don't know if it is or not. I just said that. And so she went and she flagged it according to whatever she did. So then Jim and Lisa went through the lot, and pretty much where I said there was wetland, they pretty much are saying, "Yeah, this is all wetland." So he now is trying to punish me because I did open it. I'm not gonna. It's there as obvious as can be. I opened it up 3 feet, maybe 4 feet.
How many years ago was that?
14 years ago. So it's all grown back in. I sent Lisa a video of my dog playing in this thing 10 months ago, which he said I just did it 2 months ago. And all the vegetation is all grown. My dog is wading through the vegetation. You wouldn't even know it if you saw it, if nobody said anything. So my dog is wading through the vegetation to catch a stick, because we go back there and we play.
Okay, I'd like to hear from Lisa and Jim.
Okay, no, that's good. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely a widening of the stream, and there's what kind of footings do you have in there to cross that?
There's cement footings, and it's only because I learned about square box culvert, and you always make it wider than what it should be. So basically, I built a square box culvert wider than what the stream was, out of cement. So, and again, I built it higher and I built it wider than what the stream was. So the water actually is flowing into the backside of my lot, and that is why it's flooding more. And then it should have flown across the street and then went into Steve's, but it doesn't because the culvert now is smaller, which is fine. Again, I don't care. My lot is flooding out, and that's it's 600 by 1,500 feet that is wet where it was never wet before. But I'm good with that because I don't want anybody building around me, so that's fine. But that's what's going on. I damaged myself. I didn't damage anybody else.
So, I mean, as part of this, Mr. Ribeiro notified the EPA, and the EPA has to follow up on all their complaints. So this went in the file as a wetlands complaint from Mr. Ribeiro. EPA emailed me and asked me to keep him apprised of, you know, when we have the site visit and all, and told me that he hasn't heard. I followed up with him today, told him we were out there, told him that I felt that if we ask him to fill in the edges of the stream at this point, it's going to do more damage than anything. What I would like to see is plantings along that bank that's exposed. There is one bank that's exposed, and possibly him to stop tilling the back field, which would...
Tilling?
Yeah, just tilling it.
Rototilling it in and planting.
If he just left that side alone, that would make me happy. However, we've got the Army Corps that's gonna come back and tell him to do whatever they're gonna tell him to do now. And it could be years before because they haven't even responded to anything, so.
Yeah.
Okay, let me, we saw wetland flags, and where these wetland flags were,
Well,
many of them.
this is when we were standing on his lot looking over the other lot, but right now we're talking about his lot, so.
Okay, but I'm even dealing just near that stream even, near the border.
Yeah.
I mean, they were in the middle of the wetlands where I couldn't even walk. I would have been, you know, up to my knees in water or...
This is the lot adjacent to him.
Well, it kind of, one flows into the other.
Yeah, but I'm
and, you know,
property line is what we determine.
Yeah, no, I know.
Whose lot is who?
But I saw the water flowing so well. I did not see even where he made this little bridge. I didn't see any impediment. That water was flowing, and if anything, I would think that it was draining the lot upstream more than what it would have if it was not opened up. Did he have two little ponds there? Yes. Were they done legally? No. But now we're gonna hear from the Army Corps, and the Army Corps will instruct us, or EPA will instruct us on what to do.
Okay.
Because since they're involved and they're gonna have the voice.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Are you gonna have conversations with the EPA, the gentleman that wrote you the letter?
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, he didn't, he just sent me an email. Let me see here. I'll go into it.
Oh, Lisa, don't cover your mouth, please.
I gotta get one of those clear masks. All right. Here we go. His name is Raymond Putnam. Okay. So I said, "Hello, Raymond. One of the Conservation Commissioners and I walked the site with the owner. he admitted to doing that work, and he said it was about 14 years ago. The part he didn't admit to was the stones placed in the stream. It appears these were there prior to him. He tills the portion past the stream and plants vegetables. We asked him to spread rye on the open disturbed area. I spoke to him about planting some shrubs along the western bank. We asked him to attend our meeting to further discuss the stream. My concern is that filling in and narrowing the stream would create more problems due to the fact that it has established now. Did you reach the Army Corps? And his response today was, "Hi Lisa, thank you for the update. I did reach the Corps, but haven't heard back. They have been very slow as of late. I should hear soon. I can also look to see if I can pinpoint the dates of the work more precisely via aerial imagery. Are your meetings via Zoom? If available, I would try to join the meeting remotely. I do understand your concerns about requiring the removal of the ponded area, and I need some additional information to decide how to move forward on my end. Once I hear back from the Corps, I will likely send a letter to your office. Thanks, Ray." And I say, "Hi, unfortunately, we are meeting in person at this time, and we have several members that are hard to hear, so they're shying away from Zoom. I'm hoping we can figure something out going forward, but keep me in the loop." That's it.
Okay, so as of right now, nothing is, we're waiting for
Yeah.
instructions.
Could I approach the bench?
Can you what?
Could I approach the bench?
Sure, absolutely.
I want to, well, I don't know how
That
to.
was the first time I heard that.
I don't know how this works, so I don't want to.
Judge Charlie and,
This book has all the information on my lot and his lot.
Really?
Yes. So if you look at my lot, you'll see the stream here, and you'll see that there's no vegetation there. If you look at his lot, where he wants to go, you'll see that there's all vegetation, and the stream actually runs closer to Horton Street. It runs down and runs closer to Horton Street. And this is where he has gone in, and he wanted to rip through here and then come around here and put the cul-de-sac. You can see that this was, and now this is 14, this is 7/10, 2006, is it?
Yeah.
I can't see too well. But you can see that this was all wetlands. This is, Gilly Lopes owns all of this. The water all runs down here, right into here, and then it runs out this way. He's saying that the water is running up this way. So it's impossible to run water.
Oh, no, there's a guy that did it.
Jesus?
Yeah.
No, he did not. He only moved the water.
No, Moses.
How do you know it was a guy? Wait a minute. Never mind.
No, we're not going there. This right here is this gentleman's property. Back, again, this photo was taken. This is the edge of my property and the beginning of his property. And this is his wetlands. And this is what he's saying was never there. And this is a photo from 14 years ago that shows that 14 years ago it is here. Now I presented a book, one of these books, when I went to do the delineation and everything. And this book shows everything about the dirt, everything about the wetland, every stream that goes through it, it shows everything. And it'll show that his lot, you can't even build a cottage on it. Because if you could, I would have done it for my son. And the only reason why I'm really here is because he wants to aggravate. He wants to bust my ass. He wants to punish me. Because I didn't let him just go through with the excavation. And he was ripping trees and he was digging and he was.
and yet he is correct in that you altered the stream.
I altered the stream,
So we're gonna have to
Okay.
see what comes of that, or you're gonna have to see.
In two items, we have
But if you look
We
at
have
this
Mr. Ribero's
width-
lot in two items. So if we could stop talking about Ribeiro, because we gotta talk about him in two items anyway.
Okay, so if you looked at the width of this stream right here, this width maybe comes out 3 more feet here. So if you actually could do it comes out 3 more feet. It looks exactly the same, but 3 feet wider. Or 4 feet, maybe 4 feet in some areas.
How deep are those little ponds, those on either side of the bridge?
4 feet, 3 feet,
And they're that way all year long?
yes. Yeah, and I can show you, I got a
Because,
video on my dog, which I sent to Lisa, swimming in it in August.
We're good, we're good. We're gonna deal with your lot, they're gonna take care of your lot first. And, we know quite a bit about the lot,
next door.
next door. We've had people working on it for a long time, years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to build. I mean, and I know one of the
Okay.
best companies
So
in the industry.
let's just, the complaint is in, we're waiting for the Army Corps to respond, and until that happens, nothing's gonna happen.
Do you want me to get the Army Corps? Because I can get this company, who again, I'm friends with one of the head guys, and this is a gigantic company.
I think you'd be better off
I'm down.
until he contacts Lisa
Yeah,
again.
let it go that way.
And she can explain to him on the phone what she saw.
Okay.
And I think it'll be a lot more helpful than trying to, you do it yourself.
They might want a site visit, and we'll go do a site visit.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna have to
And
notify you.
the water was originally where I have the bridge. The water was in the summertime. Very
But it depends
shallow.
upon the year too. I mean,
Yeah,
we,
it depends
actually,
upon the year.
this has
But
been
I
a
used
wet
to go
year.
across there with the tractor and rototill up the back because the back was all dry. So the only thing I did was I put a bridge in, and I'm still continuing rototilling the back. And like
Okay.
Jim said, I said I was doing some planting. He said, "Yeah, because you're planting food plots for deer." But that's neither here nor there.
Okay. Okay, so we're just gonna hold this and whenever it comes up again,
Yeah, I'll update the commission at the next meeting. If you'd like to come, you can.
All right. So am I in trouble? I do like you want me to
Not
do
gonna
anything?
put in jail soon, so don't worry about it.
Oh, course. I'm sorry for anything that I did that was wrong.
Lisa?
Oh, yeah, the oil spill. So we had, a situation where the fire chief reached out to me. Okay, so this was last Thursday. I don't know the date of that off the top of my head. Oh, January 13th. There was an oil spill at the clubhouse. So I have several photos, but in a nutshell, what happened was, there was a tanker that was parked at the end of the cul-de-sac near
Clubhouse Road.
near the wet basin, up on Hunter's Hill, and the pipes froze and leaked. I think they determined it was somewhere around maybe 500 gallons total, but some of the neighbors intervened, and of course the fire department came late night. And the next day is when I was contacted me, and Todd Pilling went out there. I took a bunch of pictures, and then the LSP that's involved had to take pictures as well, but these were the ones he sent, and I can show you the ones I took. But, and then this is the outlet,
Yeah.
the outlet of,
I saw all them yesterday. You can show Jim and
You know,
Charlie.
I was up there and I didn't even see any oil when I was there a couple of days ago. They had cleaned it up that well already.
Yeah.
I couldn't smell it, or just very, very faint smell of diesel.
these are the photos I took. So it went right in the catch basin, and it went directly into the wet basin.
Well, I think the ice, according to the guy, the ice prevented it from flowing,
Being, yeah, really bad.
Into the catch basin.
Okay. So we're gonna, I asked him for an update for our next meeting, so he's gonna update us for our next meeting. I asked him, he could possibly come to the meeting, so.
Who did you ask, Lisa?
The licensed site professional, he's in charge of overseeing the cleanup to make sure that it's in compliance.
Oh, okay, I know who, yeah, I know.
Okay. What's next?
Zero Hart Street.
Map 19, lot 1.
Okay, so that would be, no, there's no further response from those people? I haven't seen any more work being done out there, but they didn't respond to our letter. So, the next step is, if we see any more work out there, we should, oh, it is an enforcement order. We did issue an enforcement order. So I say, you know, we can find them. But, as of right now, we're not getting any response. And I don't have another way to reach out to them unless you want to have something
But
ordered.
you're sure about the address?
Yeah, zero.
You know, when you send a notification to them, you do it return receipt requested, and
Yes, yes.
are they receiving the?
And, yes, originally I sent it to the previous owner. The assessors corrected me and I sent it to the new owner. So yeah,
Okay. Well, maybe we ought to start applying a fine to see how that, we've never done it before, but we should try it
Well,
and see how it works.
We used to do it, remember? We used to fine. I had books of fines I gave out to one gentleman, remember?
No, I don't.
Yes. JP.
Oh, yeah. Well, he can't pay you when he's in jail.
All right, so the next item is 0 Horton Street, which is the Ribeiro property. Okay. So we issued the enforcement order, sent it to the correct address. Fall River. Issued on December 16th. You guys all signed it. And in response, we did get a letter.
What was that, Lisa?
We did get a letter in response,
Oh, okay.
all right? Okay, so it's a long one. You guys each have one
Okay.
in your folder. It's 3 pages.
Oh, yes, I have one.
Can I read the end paragraph? Says it all.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
I
do
was
that.
advised by, because it's stuck, you know, it's just,
Yeah.
I was advised by my professional consultant team that we need to respond to this violation notice. So to that end, I am letting you know that we have removed the excavator from the site and have ceased to do any other physical work on the site that would involve excavation. We will begin preparing a restoration plan for what you have indicated as an activity in violation of the Wetlands Act, and will try to get this submitted within 60 days. We trust that you will agree with us that we cannot do anything on site till at least March. Therefore, we request that this letter be accepted as our formal response to this enforcement order, with provisions that will allow us to have the time to submit the proposed restoration plan and obtain conservation approval for the plan while awaiting at least 90 days for implementing the actual restoration. Respectfully, Wilton Ribeiro. So, you know, I mean, we obviously have to give them time for that, but I don't want us to overlook this because this was a
We
board.
won't overlook it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much wetlands to the, I'm trying to think, is that north or east? North. On the north
And
side.
south, and east, and west. There's
Wetlands
it's a
every,
huge
well,
swamp.
there's a little tiny pocket of uplands, a little pocket, but it's insufficient to do anything.
Right. I mean, that's the reason we issued the enforcement order, because
I know.
we've been asking for a plan that showed that he had enough room to perk, and they can't produce that. So in the meantime, they did what they did and can't keep doing that. So, do you want me to respond to him in writing?
No.
No?
Not necessary.
he said he's gonna follow up within 90 days, so that's gonna be March. He had a 90-day, timeline in there.
Nancy, do you have a copy of the agenda?
No, I don't.
Okay, is there anything,
I wanted to speak in the public input as a follow-up to the Stormwater Committee meeting.
oh, okay.
All right, well, we have a couple more enforcement orders, violations, I should say, and discussion items to discuss, so,
What about these folks here? They've been very patient.
yeah, we should, that's next on the agenda.
Okay.
You have to step down.
I know.
Now, we don't have a quorum to,
What to do about these?
well, that's next. You're taking over.
Okay, enforcement order issued for 578 Hart Street. Lisa, you want to give us an update on that?
Yeah, I was contacted by the neighbor, Mr. Frenette, that there was some silt runoff. I went and took some photographs.
Excuse me, point of order, you don't have a quorum.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
You can't hear it, you can't discuss it. You need one more person sitting up there. If it involves him, you don't have a quorum.
Okay.
So the only thing you could.
He's right.
The only thing you can do is adjourn, but since you have other items, you're gonna have to continue this unless you can get another person to turn up here tonight. You've got to have 3 people sitting there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nobody's gonna come.
We're gonna have to hear it next month. After all that time here, huh? 2 hours.
Well, I just wanted to say one thing about them while you're here. They did submit an as-built plan. I am in receipt of an as-built plan. Okay.
If you are going to discuss something relative to a plan they submitted and nothing that directly involves a member of the committee, commission, whatever, you can proceed. If anything is going to come up relative to a member of the commission, you can't
Yeah.
proceed.
It-
Under the open meeting law, you must have a quorum. All right, the minute one steps down, quorum's gone. They only have a quorum right there tonight. If there were only 2 people sitting there, this whole meeting would have been.
What, do you have anything else to say that it's not related to Bill?
Not so far as 578 Hart Street, no.
Okay.
Sorry to waste your time.
Have to continue that.
Have a good night.
Okay, Lisa, where is 578?
Across the street from me.
Directly across the,
Yeah.
I thought Duarte was across the street from you.
He is.
So that wasn't Duarte?
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was? Oh, okay, I didn't think it was.
Yep. That was Duarte's.
Okay, I didn't recognize him. Time for new glasses.
All right.
New glasses, you couldn't see it?
No, I'm just saying that, although these are getting bad,
2006 County Street, David DeRosa.
not here.
Enforcement order in a letter issued 4/1/21.
Yeah, we don't have anything.
You don't have what?
We don't have anything from him as far as he was when he came in with the woman and we asked them to give us a plan, we haven't gotten anything. Which, to be frank, I mean, I think at this point on that project, no news is good news. It's just kind of a stalwart kind of a project. You know, there's no additional fill being,
Yeah, no, I know,
It's just-
I hear you.
it's just naturalizing.
Okay, let's go to, what, 1566 Cedar?
Yeah, I do have, so I received a draft plan from them, and, Stephen Schmiel is the wetland scientist, he's been.
Who?
Stephen Schmiel,
Okay, I know Steven Smith.
yeah, he's the wetland scientist,
Yeah.
and he is,
Schmiel's the one who's doing Cedar Street?
yeah, he's working with Zenith, and I guess Zenith has been swamped, to say the least. But in any case, we're making progress on a plan as far as restoration goes. The narrative is ready. The only thing they need to make sure they have is the numbers in place. And we've gotten to a point where we've decided that they're not gonna go before, they're not gonna file it, the restoration as a notice of intent. They're just gonna come to us for the restoration. That's the easiest and quickest way to go, and then we'll phase it if we have to. But the gentleman that owns the house wants to put an addition on, and he knows that he can't do that until this is done.
Okay.
All right, but I will follow up with Stephen, so he can follow up with Zenith.
Is this the guy that you're going to get? from-
Yes.
How do you spell that last name? How do you
Yeah.
spell the last name?
Schmiel? I don't know, I get it
Okay.
wrong every time I try it. It's SCHMIEL, I believe.
No, it's CHMIEL. I know, I thought it was S too. Yeah,
Well, if he's so busy, how is he going to get this work done?
it's not him. It's Zenith Engineering.
Oh,
It's the engineering firm. So do you want me to tell him that the commission discussed this project, this restoration, and we would like to see at least, at a minimum, preliminary,
What?
a preliminary restoration plan?
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
good.
Okay, by our next meeting?
Yep.
217.
Sounds good. Let me just send this off. As far as the next item, do you wanna talk about the next item now?
Yep.
You wanna read it off?
2371 County?
I have not gotten any response, no more calls or emails from the lawyer since our last meeting, which I believe their MO is they wanna see the other abutters along the entire,
Well, that's not their call.
right, they wanna see us notify them as well. So I think we need to light a fire a little bit, maybe tell them that we're gonna start finding them, I don't know, we need to do
I
something.
told him he was dragging his feet last time he was here.
I know.
He
It's a
keeps
couple
on
months
asking
ago.
the same questions every time, and then he goes back and he doesn't do anything.
Yeah. So, we have to make a decision.
At the Stormwater Committee meeting yesterday, we again discussed this. I now have the list of
2371.
additional complaints, and the Stormwater Committee will be sending out letters to everyone on that list, asking them to attend the next Stormwater Committee meeting, because we need to talk about illegally filling the railroad bed. So we'll be meeting the day before you, so Mrs. Caledonia will have an update, or Mr. Fournette will. But we're we'll send the letters out and see if they show up. I'm thinking there's at least 2 others, and there could be more than that. I don't have the list with me, but I have the map with the lot number and all of that. So I think the next step is the Stormwater Committee is gonna send the notices, and then you'll hear at your next meeting whether or not they showed up at our meeting.
Okay.
So we could do the same.
But is Mr. Mitchell gonna be
What was that?
invited?
A lot of it's
He's-
not,
I think since their position with the Stormwater Committee is the same, if you don't take action against everybody, we're not doing anything. So I'm sure we're gonna notify the attorney for the first party that was complained about and say, they're invited to the meeting. And again, if they don't show, then Stormwater's gonna have to determine what the next step is going to be, because it's illegal filling. And, so you were at the site visit, so you know exactly what we're talking about.
Yep.
okay.
Okay, next. 2560 Elm Street, a complaint. So that area that was disturbed along Elm Street, I'm just monitoring it. The woman said that she was throwing down some rye, so I haven't seen anything growing there yet, but
Not in this weather.
yeah.
Oh, I know, now I know where you are, sure. Okay.
I'm just monitoring it. They haven't been in there at all. They put the driveway up where it used to be in front of the barn, or out of our
Well, they
jurisdiction.
put in a new driveway up
Put
there.
in a new
yeah.
driveway. But it's outside of our 100-foot.
Huh?
I measured it on screen. It's outside of 100-foot.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, 1035 William Street. So yeah, this one's dragging on a little too long. I asked him if he'd have something for our next meeting, and the last time, let's see,
This is across from Under the Sun.
yeah.
Across from where, Jim?
Under the Sun reads.
Oh, okay.
You said no one will be at the meeting because I just got a quote back and we will be proceeding with them. Maybe next month we'll have a better answer for you. So, I know come spring, he's gonna wanna move on doing some of his yard work. And,
Okay. You write down here this, that 2560 Williams. Remember I went down, you had a complaint of a possible.
oh, 2560. Yeah, we got a call, we got an email on that. Thank you. Well, that can go under other.
Okay.
Okay. And then next one was the Beardos, which I need to follow up with them. That one is another one that's dragging on.
Another one what, Lisa?
Dragging on.
Dragging on. I heard from him on December 14th. He actually asked me, will he be on the agenda? And I said,
Where is 2396 Pleasant?
where is it?
Yeah.
North of Hart, adjacent to, behind 2371.
Okay, I know where you are now.
Yeah, they added on, they had a building permit.
Yes,
And they didn't file with
everybody
us.
gets one.
They're within the riverfront. Okay, so he just asked if he was on for the meeting and what's going on.
Well, he just did some brush.
No, this is different. This is a different one. This is his neighbor. This is the neighbor to the north of him.
Kuchenbauer?
No, it's south of Kuchenbauer.
Okay.
So that's gonna be right around on the back side of where the other enforcement order is, filling
Yep.
the tracks.
Yeah.
Probably he'll get a letter also.
And I called him and explained to him, I said, when you get on the agenda, you'll know, because you have to sign the application. So he was a little confused about the process. And quite frankly, I think they're dragging their feet because they're afraid of any mitigation we're gonna request.
Okay.
But, in any case, I'll make priorities to follow up. I just followed up with 1566 Cedar, and I'll make it a priority to follow up with 1035 and 2396. And then hopefully Mr. Mitchell will come to our next meeting after he hears what's going on at the stormwater meeting. That's all I got.
Okay, it's not all we have. Nancy's still here.
Yep.
I'm sure she's got something she wants to discuss
Well,
with us.
Nancy's gonna sleep late tomorrow.
It's only 5 of 9, look.
We're doing well.
This is a follow-up to the Stormwater Committee meeting yesterday. When I was coming in tonight, I believe the people from Hunters Hill were walking out the door.
Yeah.
They got continued.
Yes.
Okay, at the Stormwater Committee meeting, there was yesterday, they gave out a plan. And Mr. Fournette was there, as was Lisa. And after considerable discussion in their presentation, I found out the plan they gave us was not complete. As we found out dealing with solar farms, everyone should get the same plan, and it should be the latest plan.
Were you here when I said that to him?
No.
Oh, I said exactly that. I says, we want a detailed wetland delineation. We want all of us, all departments to get the same map, because Lisa and I were there late this afternoon, and we found houses going up in wetlands on the newest map.
So after, as I said, what I considered to be way too much time went by, there was confusion and discussion. And I finally held it up and said, are you telling me that this plan is not the plan that everybody has? And the response was something like, no, we brought this one to you because basically they were saying, this is what we think you need. And I said, no.
Yeah.
We want one plan. The planning board, conservation, the stormwater committee, the building commissioner, the health agent, everybody gets one plan. They're
Right.
all the same, and it's the latest plan, and it shows everything. We'll decide what part of that plan is stormwater, as will the other committees in that, like what's conservation, so forth and so on. So I think we went another 5 minutes, and I said, we've spent enough time on this, so they had to come back. But one of the things that came out was that Mr. Pilling said that he had requested a plan, and he had not gotten it. And Mrs. Caledonia said that they had sent something to her. He wanted to review the revised plan. So he went right to town on it. So I didn't get here in time, or I would have asked to read the letter while they were present. But since Mr. Pilling went through the work of, if you will, crashing the review to have something ready for tonight, I just want to read it into the record. I'll give this to Mrs. Caledonia after, so you'll have it. Again, I believe we'll be meeting with them at our next meeting, which is basically the day before you're going to meet with them if they come to your February meeting. So this is addressed to the Dayton Conservation Commission. It's dated January 20th, and it's about Hunters Hill review of revised subdivision plan. This office has completed a review of the subdivision plan filed with the Conservation Commission. There are several sheets in the plan set with several different dates in December 2021. The plan has been reviewed for Dayton stormwater regulations. We offer the following comments. Test pits need to be performed in the presence of the health agent to determine water table at the locations of the proposed basins. Water table is identified by the USDA mapping to be between 18 and 37 inches below the surface. Although these were, quote, wet basins, unquote, for Pond 6, water table could be at elevation 142.0, which is 144.0 minus 24 inches, but the top of the berm is 140. For pond 2, water table would be at elevation 148.0, which is 150.0 minus 24 inches, but the top of the berm is 148. This will severely affect the storage capacity of the basins, leading to overtopping or continually convert groundwater to surface water. Basins will need to be reevaluated after the test pits are conducted. The invert into pond 2 is elevation 142.0. The outlet is elevation 144.0. Hydraulically, this will cause problems upstream in the roadway piping system. The pond embankments are over 6 feet deep. This falls under the jurisdiction of the Massachusetts Department of Conservation and Recreation Office of Dam Safety. As the ponds are very deep, fencing should be considered. As the ponds will always be full of water, an access road all the way around should be provided for maintenance and public safety. It does not appear aquatic benches or safety benches are provided in the wet basins. Stormwater Standard 3 requires infiltration. As the soils on site are hydraulic group C and D, the infiltration standard only needs to be met to the maximum extent practicable. However, no infiltration attempt has been made on this project. Proposing to infiltrate sewage does not meet the standard, as this water is being piped into the site. It is not rainwater. Documenting compliance for standard number 3 requires preparing a plan of the site, which identifies hydrologic soil groups and location of all test pits. There may be locations on the site where infiltration is feasible, other than where the sewage leaching is to be located. There are portions of the roadways, cul-de-sac of Road C, Station 24.00 of Road A, where the proposed cut is over 24 inches deep. The roadways need to be above the water table to avoid water bleeding onto or through the pavement. Either of these conditions could lead to freezing, causing a public health hazard. At this time, I do not believe this project meets DEP stormwater management standards. The groundwater is a serious issue, and we need to protect the residents of the new homes as well as the town wetlands. It is imperative that the entire project concept, from houses to driveways to streets to drainage systems, incorporate best management practices in order to protect public health. Thank you. Todd M. Pilling, PE, Board of Health Agent, Stormwater Agent. So I just wanted to read that. So as I said, he was at our meeting yesterday. He crashed this. This was going to be read tonight, but since it was continued, I just wanted you to know what his initial findings are. As I said, there'll be more of this, I'm sure, at our next meeting.
Well, he's not going to like us in the future. Lisa gave me a call around 4 o'clock this afternoon, and I was on site in 15, 20 minutes. And we went to the north side of Clubhouse Road, and there's a pathway, maybe for a roadway. According to the map, there is a roadway, and he's got it going right through the wetlands. There's a drainage trench, and the water is flowing around the next house on the east side. I mean, it's flowing and down the drain to the next, and then out to that pond. One of the maps that you had there, it showed 2 or 3 houses in that wetland. And I'm saying,
Actually, these plans don't show any houses, it's just lots.
oh, lots. Well, okay, lots.
But yeah, the problem is the delineation, obviously they missed this, so the delineation is inaccurate. But in addition to that, they're not meeting the stormwater requirements according to Todd, and they wouldn't let me read the letter, so.
Now you're gonna talk to Brandon tomorrow, I mean, he's gotta be told that site that we saw behind those houses, there.
Right.
it's just wet
Oh,
as can be.
I talked to him before the meeting, which is why I think they continued the meeting, because they knew that between that and the stormwater issues, I don't think it had anything, the continuation, I don't know that it had anything to do with not having two members here.
Did-
No, that was the only thing with two members was, Duarte. That was the only thing.
No, they gave their reason for the continuation.
Oh, I know what you mean, okay.
Did I understand you to say you had planned to read that letter and they didn't want you to read it? Or
Right, I wanted to read it for the record, and they said no.
the
They-
people from,
Yep, they said they didn't want us to even discuss anything, because there were two commissioners that weren't present, that needed to be present.
okay, well, I'm glad I read it under public input, all right, so that gets her off the hook. But it was information I felt you needed, because quite frankly, when somebody goes out of their way, like Todd did, to really get those plans and get a preliminary report written in anticipation of the meeting tonight, and then to say, continue it, we don't want that read, I have a problem with that, so.
You know, but essentially, I told them that I wanted an accurate, map for all the wetlands, that I wanted to see where the houses were gonna be. Well, you don't need that. I says, yes, we do.
When they said they had given us the map, the plan that they felt was appropriate for the Stormwater Committee,
Yeah.
that's when I said, no, we want a complete one. As a matter of fact, their engineer said, well, you're gonna get these big papers with 20-some pages. I said, that's exactly what we want. I said, our history has been, not with housing developments, but with solar farms. If you don't get a complete set of plans, then you don't get the whole picture. And that got us to the situation on Brook Street where the battery storage units weren't shown on the plans that went to the main people.
Okay,
So-
now, I'm going, sticking with Hunters Hill. When we were at our cars, there were 4 or 5 women walking their dogs, and they started telling us a little bit of the history before these people, and talking about where land had been filled in to build houses. And they said, that had adjusted the wetlands in the whole area. And, and they said that the treatment plant now is leaking sewage.
Well, they don't have a treatment plant.
Leaking sewage. They have a treatment plant,
I
in-house
know,
treatment
they
plant.
have a treatment plant, but.
And so,
That's not what he told me yesterday. They're going to build a treatment plant. All they got now is a
They
Title
need
V.
to build, if
No, that
if
current
this
septic
project is
system.
complete, they will need to build another treatment
Yeah,
plant, a bigger, much bigger one in
They
a
need it
different
now.
area.
But when I questioned it yesterday specifically, I said, I know what a Title V system is, which is what you said you are using. What do you mean by a plant? Is it a sewage treatment plant? He says, yes, we're gonna build one. He stated at our meeting what they have is a Title V, a big one.
well,
So-
these women said the system is leaking.
Well,
I don't ask me what that means.
No, all I can tell you is what was stated publicly at our meeting, because I questioned it. That was one of the things that I questioned.
Okay.
So anyhow, well, you have your public input for me. You know where the Stormwater Committee is on this, and looks like both committees are gonna be busy.
And
Thank you.
those houses that are up there are very, very nice, and it's probably something that's, very worthwhile for the town. But, gee, let's get it done right.
I agree. Is it still an over 55 development?
yes.
But it's not a 40B. It's not a 40B.
no, I don't
Those
believe so.
houses look kinda nice to be 40Bs.
Well, I haven't heard that it was, but I always ask that question, because sometimes they turn around. But I was just wondering if it still was an over 55.
Yeah.
It is. It's a locked community. It's locked.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
But I can give you the number if you want to go up. No? Okay.
One of my main concerns yesterday were the ponds. Because when I saw some pictures, I said, what is all that water? And that's when I was told it was a basin. And I says, it looks like a lake. Well, it sort of is, okay?
Where the oil went?
Yes. That, on
And
that,
this
right there.
water drains that we saw was flowing pretty hard, flowing into that pond.
Yeah, the wetland was it was draining the wetland.
Yeah, that's how I
Which is part of
access
what
it with
Mr.
my
Kelly
tractor.
referred
That's where I
to,
come
in
into
that it's
that project.
draining,
from
it's
the
not
town.
handling rainwater, it's draining surface water.
Now I have to go between the two solar farms.
Okay.
Yep. Which is one more reason why it needs to be, it needs.
Thank you, Nancy. Always good
to
to
be designed
hear from
properly.
you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, Bill, let's see, you gotta ask the public if there's any more questions out there.
I have a question. With COVID numbers going up,
It's gonna go down very soon.
Oh, they're going down now, Lisa. Quit being a pessimist.
I'm
They're
just,
going down.
because Jim could have attended if we did a Zoom.
Who?
If we had the option to do Zoom when we need to, Jim could have attended.
Oh,
But we don't even have the option. So if my kids was sick and I was home, I couldn't even attend via Zoom because we don't have the
and
option.
how can we Zoom?
We can Zoom.
How?
What do
Who-
you mean?
Who can do it?
We did it last year.
I know, but,
How?
can you
How?
set it up and do the whole program?
Cable does, not from here, from our houses.
There's a way to do a hybrid on here as well.
What'd she say?
Oh,
We
that's,
do hybrid. That means both,
But
in
that-
person and,
That would be Zoom. There's a camera on that TV.
so but what I'm saying is, so if we opt to do Zoom and we want to stay at our houses, you can still,
I'd have to come here to record the people here, set up Zoom there. There's a camera to catch these people that you would see out.
you know, what I have against Zoom is we can't pass around maps and see anything. And on my screen, even if they show the map there, I can't see a darn thing.
okay, but that's the thing, like, we can have paper copies. If we know we're gonna be on Zoom, I mean, they give me all this paper. I just think it's something to think about and consider, because if you
How
guys,
much notice do you need to do that? A week?
You don't set up your own Zooms, do you? think
no.
before you were having-
Leanne used to do that.
I'm not sure if they'll make you get your own account, but if you don't, we have access to it. I would say a week's notice would be the most helpful.
Yeah, and we need to make sure that we're notifying, say we had a new public hearing, we need to make sure those people, the abutters, are notified that way, that, hey, it's gonna be a Zoom. So, but, you guys have to actually vote to adopt it as an option. You never did. You have to vote to allow it to be an option.
I see.
Yeah, because right now, you only voted to allow us to have only strictly in-person meetings. I just feel like we should have the option, because I'd hate to, I mean, if our meeting was a couple weeks ago, I couldn't have even have come, because my son had all COVID symptoms, he ended up having strep, but anyway.
This is what happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Everyone is so afraid that you get the sniffles, and people are afraid they get COVID. If it's worse,
I just think it would be a good option. Even Jim said it. Jim said he wished we were doing Zoom, because he could have attended tonight.
Jim Souza.
Yeah. You know?
Well, whatever. I'll
my 2
entertain a
cents.
motion. If somebody would make a motion to adjourn.
Oh,
well, okay.
To adjourn.
Are we gonna think about what Lisa had just said? Do we wanna have the option to, whether we have just in person, or we could do it in person and Zoom?
Not tonight,
no,
not on your agenda.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But at our next meeting, can we put that item on there? So that not every
By our
meeting.
next meeting, COVID will be gone.
It's never gonna be gone.
There's gonna
but
be
it's-
5 more variants.
It depends upon what politician says what.
Yeah, it does.
Let's not do political statements.
I didn't say it towards anyone.
But it's not even just COVID. I mean, anything could happen. I could break my ankle and be, someone could be stuck home.
You're discussing something that's not on the.
If you break your ankle, I'll go get
This
you.
is other discussion.
No, you've exhausted this, guys, you're pushing the limit.
Okay.
Okay, I make a
Better
motion that we
adjourn.
adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Motion carries.